Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Newspaper Analysis Townhall. So today is 25th June and we are going to discuss following topics. The first topic is going to be global SDG rankings, and where we are going to discuss India's rank and various global disparities that is seen in meeting SDG targets. Second topics that we are going to see is about water security, where we are going to differentiate between two approaches to water security. One is improved water access, and second is providing safe drinking water. And then we are also going to deep dive into Jal Jeevan Mission. The third topic that we are going to discuss, which is also important from essays point of view, is gender equity in bureaucracy. This topic is related to urbanization, and this is an intersection between urbanization and gender. The fourth topic that we are going to discuss is about India-Mauritius relations. However, we are going to discuss maritime doctrine, that are Sagar approach and recently enunciated Mahasagar approach, and what is the difference between Sagar and Mahasagar approach, and how India is providing its role as net security provider. What is the meaning of net security provider? The last topic that is related to environment as well as science, and it is a geoengineering technique, that is enhanced rock weathering. We are going to learn what is enhanced rock weathering and how it can help in carbon capture. So let us move on to our first topic. So the first topic is Sustainable Development Goal Index. And this year's index has come, and this index is part of SDG report. And what is the exciting finding in this report? It is that first time India has break into top 100 in global SDG ranking. So India's this year rank is 99. So it is the first time India is under top 100. Why it is important? It is important because this index measure progress in achieving the sustainable development goals. There are 17 sustainable development goals adopted in 2015, and they are to be completed by 2030. We will discuss sustainable development goal separately and how it measures. There is a score, and the maximum score any country can get is 100. If any country is getting 100, it means that it is on full achievement track of SDGs. What is India's score? India's score is 67. India's rank is 99. So this report is published by UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, SDSN. Now let us see India's evolution in this rank. So if you see 2024 rank, India got 109. And then in 2023, it got 112. And then in 2022, it got 121. Now from here to here, you will see that there is improvement in the rank. So this is the trend also. According to this report also, India is steadily improving its implementation of sustainable development goals. It means that India is very much serious about climate change. Okay, so this is about India. We have learned about how India's performance is there. Now let us see about our neighbors. These are the countries which have done better than us. Maldives has rank of 53, Bhutan 74, Nepal 85, Sri Lanka 93. There are two countries which are behind India, and this is Bangladesh and Pakistan. Now, which are the top countries? Obviously, Finland, Sweden, and Denmark rank 1, 2, 3. Now, it also tells one more trend that Europe dominates in SDG implementation. Even US rank is 44. China's rank is 49. Out of top 20 countries in this index, 19 are European countries. So this is an important development. What are the global trends? This we have seen. Europe is dominating. India is steadily improving. However, top performers like Finland and Sweden, these are also facing climate and biodiversity issues. Why these are facing? Because of unsustainable consumption. Countries are consuming a lot. What they are consuming? Resources. Per capita energy consumption is high. Per capita food consumption is high, especially in European countries. Okay. Now, according to this report, what are the global concerns? One of the major important findings that you can use in your mains answers is that only 17% of the SDG targets are on track to be completed by 2030. It means the target that we have set for 2030, it is very difficult that it is going to be completed on time. Currently, only 17%. And then what are the reasons? Obviously, there are conflicts and political instability that is going on. Everywhere you can see wars are happening. Ukraine, Russia, in Europe, and then Israel, Iran, Israel, Palestine, there are conflicts. Then various countries, especially the developing and underdeveloped countries, they have poor infrastructure, they have weak governance. That is why they are not able to implement their SDGs. One of the most important challenges in implementation of sustainable development goals is that countries does not have money, especially countries which are developing countries, which are underdeveloped countries. And what is the other issue? Other issue is that the developed countries like USA, European countries, they are not providing the finance to these countries. Because ultimately these countries are more responsible for climate change. Okay. So that was all in this topic. Now we are going to understand briefly about sustainable development goals. So these are 13 sustainable development goals. First is, you can see, no poverty. Second is zero hunger. So go through this table, take a screenshot and try to learn it. These are very, very important goals. Now about sustainable development goal, what is the genesis? In 2015, the agenda 2030 agenda for sustainable development was adopted in 2015 at UN Sustainable Development Summit. And what was in this agenda? The heart of this agenda was 17 sustainable development goals. These goals are interlinked goals. It means poverty is dependent on hunger. Poverty is dependent on education. Poverty is dependent on clean water and sanitation. Inequality is dependent on gender equality. Life below water is dependent on life on land. So you can see all these goals are interlinked to each other. These are not separate goals. Try to learn at least 5 goals out of them. Okay, this is very important for your prelims examination. Now these are 2 questions. Try to answer them and write the correct answer in the comment box. Which of the following SDG aims to address climate change? Write in comment box. This is active recall question. Active recall means these questions will help you in remembering what we have just learned. Which of the following institution publishes Sustainable Development Report? We have just read it. Try to answer this in comment. Always understand, if you will answer, you will remember. See this video for the sake of recall and extracting some value. This is not a time pass. Okay? Now let us move to our second topic. The second topic is about water security. 2 billion people don't have safe drinking water. Now it begets a question. The question is, what is safe drinking water? If in my colony there is a tap which is providing clean water, can it be termed as safe drinking water? Let us try to understand. If you see here, it is written, safe drinking water means 3 conditions should be met. Number 1, it needs to be free from contamination. Free from contamination, number 1. Second, and very important, it needs to be located at home. It means I should not travel to gather the water. Water should be available at my home. Third is availability whenever needed. It means even if there is a tap at my home, there should be a water, clean water that should be coming into this tap. So according to international definition, these 3 conditions are very important in order for defining safe drinking water. Okay. Now let us move on. What is the problem that we are facing? 2 billion people in the world does not have access to safe drinking water. Just like we discussed, either they are getting contaminated water, okay, or they do not have tap at home, or they do not have availability in tap. 1 in 4 people are traveling for water, consuming contaminated water, or both. Definition we have already discussed. According to this article, 6 billion people in the globe have access to safe drinking water. 2 billion people do not have access to safe drinking water. Note this down. You can write this point in the mains examination. Now, what is improved water source? Improved water source is a water source that has capability to deliver safe water. It means it can be a pipeline, it can be a borehole. You know, there are boreholes that we dig in our home and then we attach motor to it. It can be a spring. Water is collected here. Now earlier, before 2017, what was government approach? Government approach was that, or global approach, even global approach was that every household should have a water access, let's say through tap. However, there was no focus on quality of water as such. For example, let's say if you are going to, this is your home, okay, and the tap is situated at 1 kilometer from your home. You are going here, collecting water in a bucket. Now, when you are collecting the water, it is clean. However, till the time you are traveling back to your home, the water becomes contaminated. So that is the issue. Improved water source does not mean that I am drinking contamination free water. This is the difference between these two approaches. Safe drinking water approach should be there. Now, it means tap should be there at my home, contamination free and available whenever I need. What is the public hazard? Yearly 8 lakh deaths happen from contaminated water. Diarrhea, cholera, various diseases are there. Malnutrition is there. And this is mostly concentrated in low income countries, especially countries in, let's say, Africa, even countries in Asia, even India, in some areas suffer from this problem. However, in 2019, the government has come up with Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission, this is a very important scheme. What is its objective? To provide functional household tap connection to every rural household by 2024. Till now, 15 crore 65 lakh 85,000, almost 15.5 crore rural households have got tap water connection under this scheme. So remember this data. This is a question. Jal Jeevan Mission is under which ministry? Write in comments. Now let us move on to our next topic. The need for gender equity in urban bureaucracy. Okay. Now let us see. This is a question that I have given. If any one of you want to write it, try to attempt this question. And you can send the answer to prabhat.u@flaviant.com. I will revert back. Urban growth. Urbanization. By 2050, 80 crore Indians will live in cities. It means India is going to be at the forefront of urban expansion. However, in urban areas, administrative roles, technical roles are male dominated. Especially roles as engineer, police, managers, planners, IAS officers. According to our data, only 20% of IAS officers are women and 11.7% of police force are women. This is the problem we are facing. When there is less women in planning, then what happens is we lose women perspective in planning. Generally, what is seen, if women are part of bureaucracy, then there is more focus on health, water, sanitation, safety. For example, if there is a road, then there will be a women officer may focus more on lights, because lighting is very important for safe travel for women. Gender sensitive bureaucracy is also responsible for community trust, empathy in governance. For example, women officers positively influence law enforcement, inclusive governance. So that is the thing. However, there is one good thing also, that after implementation of 73 and 74th amendment, more than 46% local representatives such as panchayats and urban local governance are women. This is good. Now, this article also explains what is gender responsive budgeting. It is a budget that works for everyone. It means there is gender equitable distribution of resources. It keeps in mind that how much resource or how much money is going for schemes which are meant for women, or even say elderly, or even say youth, and what is the result of the implementation. So it leads to equitable benefit sharing. These schemes benefit women, which ultimately empower them. Now, gender responsive budgeting was introduced in India in 2006. However, it has remained weak. Some states such as Delhi, Tamil Nadu, these are doing good. Even Kerala is doing good. However, there is need for other states to do better in gender responsive budgeting. There are some global best practices that are given. For example, Rwanda has improved maternal health and spending. Brazil has improved sanitation and primary health. How they have improved? Because these are the countries which have a strong gender responsive budgeting. They have good representation of women in bureaucracy. Even in India, there is one very good best practice, that is Kudambashri. Kudambashri is a poverty eradication and women empowerment program by Kerala. It is basically a women support group at 3 levels. Okay, you can use this as best practice in such questions related to gender or women issues. Now, there are some best way forward that are also there, that gender responsive budgeting should be institutionalized in urban local bodies. Okay, so this thing should be done. The budget that is made for urban local bodies, there should be specific funds for women related schemes. Then there should be recruitment reforms so that women can come in administrative and technical roles. It means it is demanding more quotas also. Reservation. More scholarships, affirmative actions for women. Okay, so try to answer this question. Gender balanced bureaucracies are not about fairness alone. They are essential for building safer, equitable and responsive cities. Comment. Now let us move on to our next topic. Next topic is PM calls Mauritius Prime Minister, invite him to visit India. PM had recently visited Mauritius. Okay, So this is a very good code. If there is any question about ocean, you can use this code. It is by Alfred Mahan. Whoever controls the question, ocean runs the world. So this is the location of Mauritius. You can see it is in Indian Ocean region. This is Mauritius, this is Maldives, this is Seychelles, Bay of Bengal. Okay, this is China. China trying to increase its presence in this area. That is why it is very important for India to engage deeply with these countries. And that is what India is doing. India and Mauritius have enhanced strategic partnership. So in recent visit of Prime Minister to Mauritius, the partnership status was upgraded to enhanced strategic partnership. And as you can see, the capital for Mauritius is Port Louis. India has stepped up relation with Mauritius. In 2015, when Prime Minister went to Mauritius, he gave the vision of Sagar Doctrine. It is our maritime doctrine. And recently, nearly after 9 to 10 years, when recently Prime Minister went to Mauritius, he has expanded Sagar Doctrine into Mahasagar Doctrine. An expanded version of Sagar Doctrine. So we will see what is the difference between Sagar and Mahasagar Doctrine. The full form of Sagar is security and growth for all in the region, especially the maritime region in the Indian Ocean. Sagar is specifically for Indian Ocean region. Now the Sagar Doctrine, maritime engagement in Indian Ocean region, 5 pillars, security and cooperation. So basically, you can say joint military exercises, etc., joint navy exercises, trade and economic integration, capacity building and disaster management, sustainable development, connectivity and infrastructure. In connectivity, making ports, improve route. Capacity building means training these countries for handling disasters, helping these countries, improving trade and economic integration with these countries, giving loans for these countries. Recently, India is going to help Mauritius in building its parliament. India, through this Sagar approach, India is positioning itself as a net security provider in Indian Ocean region. How? By offering these countries like Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Maldives, etc., naval aid, intelligence, various services, these services that we have talked about. So, net security provider means we are helping these countries. We are not dominating these countries. Now, if we see Mahasagar, Sagar was more or less limited to Indian Ocean region. However, Mahasagar has expanded to all oceans. It is not just limited to Indian Ocean region. If we see, the main focus of Sagar was maritime engagement. However, now here in Mahasagar, collective security, regional coordination, enhanced maritime partnership is also there. It means it is just more than maritime engagement. It is full economic partnership also. Defense also. This is also focusing on the global south, especially countries in Africa, where India can become a first responder and key economic and strategic partner. So all of this we are talking, why we are talking all this, why we are having Sagar upgraded to Mahasagar, the context is China. India wants to contain the expansion of Chinese dominance in its backyard, that is Indian Ocean region. This is the question. Try to write the definition of net security provider. Now let us come to our last topic. So last topic is enhanced rock weathering. It is an artificial technique, means it is a geoengineering. Weathering is a natural process. It happens on its own. Weathering means when rocks are broken down due to natural process like effect of water, air. What happens? That carbon dioxide and water mix and make carbonic acid. Carbonic acid helps in weathering of rock. It means it breaks down rock. But what it also does is it converts the carbon dioxide from air as well as soil into bicarbonate. And this bicarbonate is then turned into limestone. It means this carbon dioxide is now locked in limestone. It means locking away of carbon. So this is like a carbon sequestration, carbon storage. Understood? So weathering is a natural process that leads to locking away of carbon that is present in air or soil. So it will help us in dealing with climate change. Now what is enhanced rock weathering? Enhanced rock weathering means when we are enhancing this process. How can we enhance this process? There are some rocks which can weather. It means it can be broken down easily. And one of these rock is called basalt. So what we does, let's say I have a plot, and if I just throw so many basalt rock here, then what will happen? Due to weathering, more carbon dioxide can be stored, and these basalt rock will turn into limestone, and this carbon dioxide will be locked away. That is the thought process. Involves spreading crushed rock like basalt in the farmland. How? For example, it can be done in tea estates, oil palm estate, sugarcane farms. Due to many such rocks, the surface area for weathering is increasing. It means it will capture CO2 faster. It also neutralizes soil acids, which help in improving crop yield and improving soil health. It prevents acid runoff into ocean. When neutralization of acid will happen, less acid will go into ocean, and then it indirectly avoid release of CO2 from ocean itself. So these are the benefits. Thank you for watching this lecture. If you have any question, you can just write down in comments.